Welcome to the world's first, largest, and only dance talk radio show. I'm your host, Birdy Tolar. This is the only show that's all about taking down the slave box. That's your friend TV. Today, I'm going to make a statement, and I want you to tell me if you agree. I'm only going to make one statement. I'm repeating this because repetition is the key to reaching you. I'm only going to make one statement. And I want you to tell me if you agree with this. So here it is. We should not be replicating the negative actions and activities taken by the lowest in society. Let me say it one more time because I said repetition is the key to reaching you. I said we should not be replicating the negative actions and activities taken by the lowest in society. And all I want you to do, this is all I want you to do. I want you to just tell me if you agree or disagree. For example, if we view maybe the homeless or the poor as the lowest in society. For example, if one homeless person is feeding another homeless person and they give them their last dollar or their last apple, see, that's not a negative action. Sharing, giving, helping. No. That's not what I'm saying today on this Dance Talk Radio show, the only show that's going to take down TV. See, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about negative activities. If we're going to say that homeless and poor people are at the bottom, I'm saying the actions of just urinating on a restaurant window. I'm saying, should we be replicating that? I'm actually saying we should not. And I want you to tell me, do you agree? And I hope you do, because some of you probably know where I'm going with this. Because this show is only about TV. And with that statement said, I'm going to bring up who? The lowest in society. And we're talking about what? We're talking about TV. So, this is one of the unspoken truths. Sorry I have to say it, but who are the lowest in society? Who's at the bottom socio-economically? Do I need to say it? Should I say it? I mean, this is something we all know. Do I really need to say this? At the bottom, who's there socio-economically, politically? Who's there? Knock knock, who's there? It's me. I'm in poverty and socio-economically I have no power. Who is it? Do I have to say that? Are you waiting on me still? Alright, I'm going to say it. Blacks. We are there. In the U.S., black Americans are there, and I'm sorry to say it, but it's actually something that everyone knows. What's another group? What's another group that's at the bottom of society? Let me think. Prisoners. Prisoners, I guess. Just thought of that. But where am I going with this? Because this is all about TV, isn't it? Oh, wait. I just remembered why I brought those two groups up. Because there are no two groups that watch more TV than those two groups. I've been getting a lot of angry emails recently. I don't know, it's a lot of demented people out there on the internet. Some of you have been sending me emails talking about I'm just spouting my opinion and I have no facts and just like a lot of anger and frustration, and you called me out of my name so many times. But tell me, how is that my opinion? I want you to go to your census data and tell me that that's my opinion. I'm not a voodoo doctor. I'm not a witch doctor. Just by making this show, I did not make Prisoners and Blacks the groups that watch the most TV. I did not do that. And because I'm saying it, it's not my opinion. Because you disagree with me, If I say, hey, the sun rises in the morning, you're like, well, I don't like his voice, so that's just your opinion, and I'm going to send you these long emails, and I don't even know what some of these emails I get are about. Like, I got one. I honestly don't know if the guy was agreeing or disagreeing with me. He's just like, yeah, and they're always blaming. I really do not know, because some people have a lot of difficulty putting a sentence together. But what I'm saying is, I didn't make these facts. I'm sorry, some of you don't like me. I'm not sure why you're actually listening to this show if you don't like me. But some of you don't like me, which is okay. But I did not make facts facts. I did not go around the U.S., go around the Western world, collecting data for millions of people, and then magically, because Birdy, this one individual with very little input into what was done, into the situation we have, I did not create those results. And magically at the bottom, because I'm a voodoo doctor, you just see, okay, socioeconomically, it's just like he said, we can find blacks. They're there. And yes, we can also see with their TV viewing habits that they and prisoners just happen to be the most, but it's probably because of this one guy who we don't like. So we're going to send him an email to let him know that his opinion is just his opinion, and these are not facts. I'm letting you know that I didn't create this. That's all I'm bringing up. So far I haven't said much. I said I was going to make one statement. The statement was, we should not be replicating the negative activities and actions taken by the lowest groups in society. The second statement was, and that you agreed with me on, the second statement was that blacks and prisoners are the lowest in society. And that one is a fact. See, the first one was our opinion. Now, number 3 is another fact. Who watches the most TV? You can go to whatever study you want, any of your reports, and you're always going to come out with the same answer, which is another fact, that blacks watch the most TV. Now, I'm going to make a little, not even a jump, I'm going to take a small step. I'm going to play this clip for you. It's from ABC News. You won't like it, but I promise you, I did not write it. I did not collect the news. I did not deliver the story. I did not make it. Some of you don't want to admit this, but I'm telling you, I did not make it. This is from ABC News, your friend. So I'm going to play this clip, and then we're going to come back and talk about it.
You have, of course, heard of binge eating and binge drinking. There is now a much more innocuous binge sweeping the country. Binge watching. My wife and I are very guilty.
Yeah, you're a binge watcher. It's a sign of the times. More and more people are cuddling up. I'm assuming you'd be able to cuddle up when you're watching TV in front of their TVs for marathon viewing sessions of their favorite TV shows, like House of Cards. Can't wait for this new series to come out.
Oh, yeah.
The hit drama on Netflix, out with the new season 2 trailer. But is this new normal behavior a healthy one? Sarah Haynes, who admits to her own guilty pleasure of binge watching.
Yeah, I can't exactly answer whether it's a healthy habit, but it's pretty much the story of my life. I don't have time to keep up with the shows that I want to see, so I block out a few hours or days to catch up, and I've been waiting for some sort of statistic to justify this choice, and I found it.
Scandal, Breaking Bad, House of Cards, Orange is the New Black. Must watch it all now.
What's wrong with me?
Nothing. I mean, under the covers, spread out on a comfy couch.
Best way to watch TV, with the pups and my Netflix.
One full season of Scandal on the weekend? Is that even enough?
We need more.
What about committing your life to House of Cards? Is it normal to watch 5 seasons of Breaking Bad in 1 week?
I think once you get to the point where there's no more, you're like, oh my God, when is the next season going to start? Because I need more.
According to a study commissioned by Netflix, you're not the only one getting caught up in this trend.
Half the people studied binged on a whole season in just a week. I could do a season in 2 days. I'm not showing off.
fans can't help getting sucked in.
I've been watching Breaking Bad for a day and a half now, and I just watched the finale.
And don't you dare feel bad about laying on the couch all day.
It makes you become more social because you have to proactively find out what other people think about this stuff and create your own community around it.
Binge watching is not only acceptable, between DVR, on demand, and Netflix's new strategy of dumping entire seasons all at once, Hollywood is counting on it. That's right, when the new House of Cards comes out, you can watch the whole season on day one.
I cannot run away from this.
And honestly, I know it says at one point about it makes you more social. It's true. If you knew the friendships I've created on just discussing Breaking Bad,
Oh my goodness.
strangers in the grocery store.
I'm sure those are really deep friendships.
They are, Dan. Don't break her heart. I mean, why?
I was bursting your bubble. I can't
But
resist.
it does give people bragging rights. You're absolutely right about that. You hear that at parties all the time. And I can't wait for House of Cards.
Well,
February 14th, actually. It's my Valentine's Date. And hopefully someone else will join.
I'll come over. Yeah. We can bond.
I love the guy who's in your story watching Breaking Bad. It looks like a hostage.
It's like Blair Witch. I've been watching for 5 days.
You're consumed by it. You do.
Yeah.
Dude, absolutely. I've been there many, many times.
Great shows out there.
All right, we're back. So that was a clip about binge watching. Listen to how your news is handed to you. Listen to it. They gave you a story, and they asked the question, is binge watching the new normal? Let me tell you this. This is a media trick to control your perception because many people say that TV is mind control, which we can get into. But I like to talk more about how it's time control. It's time control because it's deliberately controlling your time so that you don't pay attention to the larger war that's taking place, the haves versus the have-nots. And you won't really pay attention to the fact that you don't really have assets. When the economy is getting worse, they'll give you a story titled, Are Americans Too Overpaid? Every time. When the economy is getting worse, they give you stories that are titled, Are Americans Too Overpaid? So that you feel like, we are big, fat, and rich and overpaid, even though you're not even living a middle-class life. Then when your job is shipped overseas to someone who can also barely make ends meet, you sit there jobless, still depending the system, and you say, we are too overpaid, because you just heard the news report, if I can call it that, debate, are Americans overpaid? And that was the question, and the result was yes. So you sit in the gutter, rotting in the corner of society, and you don't even notice you're a decaying being because they gave you the first story. That first story was, is binge watching the new normal? And what was the answer to the first one? Are Americans overpaid? Yes. So then when you watch the next story, is binge watching the new normal? What's the answer? Always yes. So that as they give you poverty, you don't really have anything to do with your time because they've taken away your job, taken away your means of income, taken away your means of supporting yourself. You don't really have anything to do with your time but watch TV. But then they give you a report asking, well, is it normal? Is it normal to just throw out all your time binge watching? Is that normal? And every time they ask you these questions, the answer has already been decided before the report was put out. Because it's going to skew you towards the answer that they've already determined you're going to accept. So, is it normal to binge watch? Of course, the answer is yes, it's normal. Why? Because propaganda doesn't exist. It's just open debate. Is it normal? Of course it's normal. That's what we determined through this debate, why propaganda does not exist. It's 2014. Propaganda doesn't exist. It only existed during World War II. After that, it vanished. So you accept your time control. And you accept your life in the gutter. You go look at which two groups watch the most TV, blacks and prisoners. But what do you disillusional people do? You get angry with me. You send me these emails about how I'm just spouting my opinion. You're like, that's not a fact. Okay, here, let's play this fact and opinion game again. Binge watching is the new norm. Here's a statement. Binge watching is the new norm. Is that fact or opinion? Go watch and go listen to that ABC News clip that I just played. The ABC News that you love, and tell me, is that fact or opinion? And if you say, see, I've got it covered on both sides. If you want to say, okay, Birdy, then that's opinion, then I ask you, is it my opinion? See, you want to send me the angry emails. Why don't you send them to ABC? Is this my opinion or is it ABC's opinion? I'm simply reading the story to you. I'm simply reporting it. I'm reviewing it. Is this my opinion? You want to say, okay, that's just your opinion. Why don't you get angry at ABC then? Why are you sending me your angry emails calling me every name? And if you say that it's fact, let me add this to it then. I called it long ago. I said that it's a manufactured fact. I'm just spouting my opinion. No facts. These are not my opinions. See, I only cover what comes from the news. And then when I cover it, people get angry. Why? I don't know. Let's do another one. Fact or opinion. I said propaganda does exist. Is that a fact or opinion? In 2014, propaganda does exist. Is that a fact or opinion? Tell me which. Is that a fact or opinion? In 2014, propaganda does exist. Because I'm saying it does, and then you're going to get angry and say, well, that's your opinion. So I want you to tell me right now, is this a fact or opinion? Does propaganda exist? I say it does exist. See, if you say it doesn't, then you're going to say, well, that's your opinion, Birdy. Let's go to the definition of propaganda, actually, because, I mean, I really don't know what it is, because everyone who's listening, you can go check the numbers. I don't have millions of listeners. Some shows barely get 100 listeners, and that's what I don't understand. Just recently, I've been getting a lot of emails, and I'm thinking, I mean, that's good that I'm reaching people, that you're listening, but I'm thinking there's some crazy people out there on the internet sending me these angry, hate-filled emails. And it's only because we're talking about TV. Have I attacked anyone tonight? Have I said something about anything that involves your personal life, your personal name? I have not mentioned one person's name, but for some reason you send me all these insults, call me everything but my name, and I'm only talking about TV. But then again, I'm dealing with addicts. Let's go to the definition of propaganda. Propaganda is a form of communication aimed towards influencing the attitude of the community towards some cause or position by presenting only one side of an argument. Propaganda is a form of communication aimed towards influencing the attitude of the community towards some cause or position by presenting only one side of an argument. Propaganda statements may be partly false and partly true. Let me point something out. I call this story propaganda. Why? If you go watch the clip, for anyone, I'll post the link. For anyone who wants to watch the clip, go watch it. And you're going to see lots of appearingly single, beautiful, educated, feminine, honest, white women with makeup on. And what do they show you? They show you that everything works out by throwing out all your time. You're not going to be like the fat Lars that we know exists all throughout society. You're not going to be like one of them if you don't control your time. You can still get your education and throw away your time. You can still be beautiful, throw away your time. Your career is just going to skyrocket when you throw away your time. You're going to, what did they say towards the end of the clip? They're like, yeah, you can even make lots of friends, and they had to throw in their disclaimer. I said that long ago. Is this a fact or opinion? Fact or opinion? Let's go back to that. Long ago on one of my shows, I said, every time you talk about TV, every article, practically every pro TV article, every pro TV news report, I said they always include their disclaimers. Tell me, is that a fact or opinion? Did you not hear the disclaimers in this news report? Did they not have the disclaimers? They always say, yeah, TV is good, but I guess we probably shouldn't watch it so much. They're like, yeah, it's good, but I know it's not healthy. Yeah, we watch it, but I guess I know I should be using my time to do better things. Yeah, we love it, and it's so fun and entertaining, and it was the #1 show, but I guess it's not something we should focus on too much. So, fact or opinion, did that show, the report that was propaganda telling you that this is the new norm, did they not also have the disclaimer? I called this. I said it long ago. Every single time, you cannot find one pro TV article that does not have a disclaimer. You cannot find one news report that does not have a disclaimer. You can't do it. You cannot find one celebrity article that's talking about Justin Bieber and one of those new actors, Tom Cruise or someone, that does not have a disclaimer, because at the end they know that they're spouting nonsense, but then because I call it out the facts, you say, hey, Birdy, you're spouting nonsense, but what have I said that is untrue? Is that a fact or is that my opinion? Is that a fact? Go listen to the show. I've given you the link. It's not like I have to clip this together. You have access to the full video. You have access to the full report. I'm not going to splice it up and make it seem like they said something which they didn't. They gave out about 3 or 4 disclaimers. Did I not call that? I said they always give disclaimers. They always give disclaimers. They always give disclaimers. It's like I'm a cheerleader here on the side of the basketball court. When you're at the free throw line, alligator, alligator, eat 'em up, eat 'em up. That's what the cheerleaders at my high school used to say. But I'm here at the sideline. You're trying to shoot the free throw, and I'm like, they always give disclaimers. They always give disclaimers. They always give disclaimers. They always give disclaimers. Why do they have so many disclaimers? If this is so good and healthy, why do they say, okay, yeah, but it's not healthy? They're like, yeah, binge watching is so great, but it's not healthy. And binge watching is a new norm, but it's not healthy. And this, I guess it's great that we have Netflix now, and it's becoming normal to just snuggle up for a weekend, but it's not healthy. Yeah, you can do it with you and your husband, but it's not healthy. Why do they always do that? I don't have to give disclaimers when I just walk around throughout life every day. Like, hey man, what's up? But I'm not your friend. Hey, how are you doing? How was yesterday? Go to work. I'm like, hey Steven, how's today? But I don't like working with you actually. Well, why do you have to give so many disclaimers? They always give disclaimers, and when I call it, you're like, that's your opinion. How is that an opinion? An opinion would mean I think they're giving you a disclaimer, but they gave you a disclaimer. I called this. And do you see how practically everything, you've got so many oxymorons? I think this one we can say is my opinion. I think this is somewhat of an oxymoron. They started that story like, They said more and more people are cuddling up and binge watching. That seems like a bit of an oxymoron. Cuddling up and binging. How do you cuddle and binge? How do you cuddle and binge? Because now we're going back to definitions, and this is where you can probably try to say, okay, well, Birdy, that's your opinion. Because binging involves the excessiveness of doing one activity, and cuddling would be the relaxation of your body. How do you do something in excess and relax at the same time? Unless you're excessively relaxing. Probably sleeping though, meditating, I don't know. But that's how I'm just saying that because that's how they start their report with you. They're like, more and more people are cuddling up and binge watching. And then did you notice how much they smile, laugh, they're giving you all this beautiful eye contact, but they're talking about binging. Can you do this? Can you laugh about more and more people are binge drinking? Yeah, on the weekend I just lay in bed and me and my wife, we just binge drink the whole weekend. You can't do that. More and more people there, me and my wife, we just, for the weekend, we'll get a turkey and a lamb chop and a couple ribs and we'll just sit in the bed and we'll go through a farm field, they'll go through like the zoo, a public zoo of meat. Eating lion legs and whatnot. Why is it that it's okay? I said this long ago. When you drink too much, you get called an alcoholic. When you eat too much, you get called a fat lard. There's probably a more politically correct name. I don't know. Whatever. You get called a fat lard. When you do too much coke, you get called a drug addict. Do too much crack, you get called a crackhead. But when you watch too much TV, it's socially acceptable, so you're just normal. TV is only a gateway addiction to time control. It's a gateway. That's why you start off, you're like, yeah, my kids don't watch a lot of TV, we're responsible, we just show them, we have like a 1 hour limit. It's a gateway, just like marijuana is a gateway drug. It's a gateway drug. This is where you enter. This is where you come into the room, into the stadium. Your seating's over there, next to cocaine. That's where you'll be seated. You're like, okay, I'm here. I bought a ticket for marijuana. I'm in seating B3. Oh, okay, you're across the field over there in aisle, next to the cocaine aisle H7. You'll be seated over there. It'll take you about a year to walk over there, but there'll be someone waiting over there to kind of show you your seat. You're like, thanks. Thank you. Why is it that I'm the one that has to call this out? There should be more people talking about this. Why isn't anyone talking about this? This is on ABC News. ABC. You guys will tweet about LeBron James and Kobe Bryant, and you'll tweet about Miley Cyrus and all these things that don't actually matter. But they're making stories, giving you this propaganda, saying that it's normal to binge watch. They're programming you guys. They're saying that this is normal. It's okay to binge watch, and they're joking and smiling about it, talking about binging, and then they're giving you all these stories. Do you know, if you go Google, if you go search for the news on binge watching, they just give you all these, stories. You Google and search for the news, it's like, binge watching gives users control. And all the stories are written by either addicts themselves or it's propaganda. And then you're like, Birdy, that's your opinion. But I tell you, this is not my opinion, because if you go read these articles, what you guys won't do, you'll just email me and you'll call me all sorts of names. if you go read the article before calling me a name, in the articles, they'll say, I'm an addict. They actually say that about themselves. It's not me calling them addicts. That's the thing. I'm not saying this. I'm only repeating it. I call them addicts because they said, yeah, I'm an addict, but I'm writing this article telling you why Breaking Bad is so cool. They write this, not me. I'm only reporting it. And then you guys send me all these crazy emails. I don't know what this is about. They have articles titled Binge Watching Gives Users Control. There's an oxymoron. See, the last one we could have debated. Was that an oxymoron? But this one is definitely an oxymoron. Go find the article. It's called Binge Watching Gives Users Control. And in this article, this guy, he's going to be praising TV. Talking about how great it is and why he loves what show he does. But then he later says, yeah, I'm an addict and yeah, my friends are addicts and I guess it's not the best thing, but it's who I am. Think about if you were reading articles about drinking about this. Like this. So you're like listening to people and they say, yeah, I'm an alcoholic and my friends are alcoholics, but you know, this new drink is amazing. The new Hennessy is amazing. It's smooth, it goes down good. I mean, the best part is if you add a little ice to it, about 2 ice cubes, and you let it sit for about 30 seconds, and then you knock it back, and and then they're like, yeah, but I'm an alcoholic, and my friends are also alcoholics. But that has nothing to do with how great this drink is. Why is it that you don't call out ABC for this? Not just ABC, Huffington Post, New York Times, the UK Telegraph, all these, they're just article after article out there, and you don't call any of them out. But then you want to call me out of my name for talking about this, and I'm only talking about TV. Binge watching gives users control. That's the title of one article. How is that possible? Binge, the word binge, I don't know if we said the definition yet, refers to excessive use. Gives you control. That's an oxymoron. You do not have control if you're binging on something. This is pure propaganda / addict articles and addict reports. Binge watching gives users control. How do you don't have control. That's just like if I wrote an article, binge drinking gives drinkers control. How do you get control? Why do I have to call this out? Why am I the only one saying this? And then everyone's like, yeah, you got a point, but I'm going to go back and watch it anyway. Why would you do that? Why are you listening to me then? Binge drinking gives drinkers control. Does that make any sense? Binge drinking gives drinkers control. Binge drinking gives alcoholics control. Does that make any sense? But then what's worse than that is you can admit, okay, that doesn't make any sense. But now you'll agree with me there. Yet you're going to run back to your TV because you guys are addicts, and I called this out long ago. I said this, you're addicts, you're sick. And it's time to get the slave box out of your home. You've got to go cold turkey. That's the only way. You cannot keep it in your home. If you could, you would have done it already. If you could have it both ways. This is time control. This is the end of 2013. You know what I can tell you? I can tell you that you can probably show me about 200 to 300 hours that you wasted on Breaking Bad, A&E, the biography channel, which actually does reports on aliens and everything, and Fox News. You can show me about 200 to 300 hours that you invested in that. I bet you, I promise you. And I like to gamble sometimes. I would sit down with some of you guys one-on-one, and I would bet some money. If I could bet with you guys one-on-one, I bet you that I would probably get 30 times my money by tomorrow morning. I bet you that you could show me 300 hours that you invested during 2013 and watching all your shows and virtually 0 hours, you can probably show me like 1 or 2, that you worked towards your goals. If I say proactively work, then we're back down to 0. If I say work towards your goals, you'll probably say, yeah, I've got like 10 hours for the year. 10 hours. And then you'll come with some 3-year-old goals that qualify for a 3-year-old to complete. You're like, my goal was to become happier, and I did that. What does that even mean? How did you measure happiness? Did you have like a 2.76 PMI scale of happiness in 2013, and you're like, next year I want to become happier? How did you measure that? Did you have a happiness gauge? These are goals that that Joseph could write. I'm sorry, my daughter, she's about, 2 months old. I mean, she can't speak yet. She's almost able to control her arms and her body, but I'm pretty sure she could almost write better goals than most of you right now. And she can't even control her arms and hands. She can't even hold a pen. I mean, she can't hold anything. Those are like how most of you are. You're like children. You're like, I could dip my daughter's hand in some paint, and I'll label the paper like the goals for 2014, and then she's just a little girl. She'll have her hand in that paint, and she'll just like slap it on the paper like someone who can't sign their name, so they have to use a thumbprint. And that slap on the paper with her fist, those will signify her goals. That's how many of you are as adults. Your words are like liquid, your foundation is so weak, your communities are rotting, your families are broken, and all you can do is go run back to your friend TV. And I'm like, hey, this friend is not helping you. This is a deceptive friend. He's betraying you. You don't see that. You're like, no, shut up. He's helping me with my goals. I'm like, he's helping you with your goal. You said your goal was to build something, to build an organization. Yeah, he's helping me. I'm like, no, this guy's a pimp. He's stealing from you. He's taking your money. You don't see that he keeps introducing you to all these people that are stealing from you incrementally? You're like, no, shut up. That's just your opinion. My opinion? You don't see that he keeps inviting you out to dinner with five of his friends and you're the one paying. No, that's because and you're making all these excuses and you guys don't understand. You don't see how weak you've been made. But you're like, that's your opinion. You just don't like TV. Well, tell me, if this is your friend that you love to watch so much, how is he building you up? How is TV helping you? See, you've got all your articles about how normal it is to binge watch and why it's cool, but how is it helping you? Show me one thing. Show me one thing that watching all the seasons of Breaking Bad has done for you. You can tell me about some conversations, but I'm saying, tell me how it has actually helped you. 2013 is done. How did it help you? You don't have anything to your name. You didn't build anything. You don't have a foundation. Your families are rotting. How did it actually help you? The gateway has been opened, and then all you can do is say, it's my opinion. What's my opinion? Is it my opinion that it's stolen hundreds of hours from you? Is that my opinion? Or did it really steal hundreds, thousands of hours from you? Is that an opinion or fact? Did it take thousands of hours from you? But that's my opinion. That's my opinion. It didn't take thousands of hours from me. It built me up into a leader. A leader? Yes, it's a leader box. You call it the slave box, but it's actually a leader box. Really? So when you were watching Breaking Bad, it was helping you become a leader? Yes, it was. And how's that? Because, can you hear this? I'm scratching my head. I'm going to try to put the mic to my head. scratching it like you would do. It makes me a leader. How's that? There's the head scratch. The head scratch on how it creates leaders. Because you can't even give your opinion on that. But for some reason, all the articles, if you just go search for binge watching. For example, let me try to find one of the articles. They've got so many articles about why binge watching is great, and you buy it every time. You buy it even though they give you disclaimers every single time. Why is it that, and many of you know that I'm black. I don't hate black people. As a black man, I would like to distinguish between the two. I would like to say, why is it that we want to follow 50 Cent? Because some people say, well, you want to separate black people. Yeah, actually I do. Because I don't want to group 50 Cent and Malcolm X together. Those two guys are not the same. I will not group those two guys together. You will not try to make me say that they're the same. I'm not going to follow the thug. I'm not going to follow the hooligan. I'm going to follow the leader. I'm going to follow a man who stands for something, who's going to build something, who's going to stand up for something, who has some sense, who can put a sentence together. That's who I'm going to follow. You're not going to make me group those two men together. What's wrong with you? You want to make me group 50 Cent and Malcolm X together. One builds the community up, the other tears the community down. And you want to call me out for saying that. When I'm like, hey, look at blacks watching all this TV. Why are we going to follow the Lord's group? What would your leader say? What would Malcolm X have said if he were here? He would have called you guys out. You cowards, afraid to do something better, afraid to stand up. But you don't want me to say this. You want me to shut up. And you want to say, well, that's just your opinion. No, that's not my opinion. Those are the facts. I'm going to say that. I don't want to be stuck with the 50 cents. I will not hang around the lowest in society. I will not replicate their actions. I will not duplicate their actions. I will not follow them. I'm saying we've got to cut off this cancer. You change your actions or you get cut off. I'm not saying the world is ending, but I'm saying we don't have any more time for this group that's holding us down. There are too many groups working, influencing our everyday lives. We do not have time to deal with the groups at the bottom. I'm saying you get on board or you risk being left behind. Because I will not be back. This is what I say. You'll see this. You'll see this in my personal life. I call it the one strike rule. See, what I'm going to do is I learned that we've got to use our energy in better places on the next generation. So I have what I call the one strike rule. For the older people, you give them about one strike. One strike, boom, you're done. You know, I live here, for example, I'll give you the perfect example. I live here in Shanghai, China. When I meet someone who's a bit ignorant, they're like, you live in China. Chinky, chonky, ching, ching, ching. Alright, you're done. I'll see you in 10 years. See, I'm not going to hate you or hold it against you, but what I don't have time for is any of your ignorance. I'll see you in 10 years. Now, I have no control over the next 10 years. You're free to improve yourself, to try to communicate on a better level, but I will not be here hanging around you every day, trying to uplift you. No, what I'm going to do is try to use my energy on the next generation because I've got a daughter. I've got to try to build a community. I've got to try to leave behind a better world than I inherited. I do not have time to waste on you guys, this older generation that failed, that let everyone down. You guys were bamboozled. I'm not holding that against you, but what I will not do is continue wasting my time on you. And that's what you need to adopt, this one strike rule. That's what I say. Because I don't even have time for 3 strikes. Because a lot of the older generation, they're already lost. The people that are on board, they've already been using their time to take actions that need to be taken. I'm just really let down that you've been bamboozled so much, that you've let your time get controlled so much. And you hate me for calling this out. You hate me for calling it out. Blacks and prisoners. Who watches more TV? Tell me anyone who watches more TV than blacks and prisoners. Is that a fact or opinion? Blacks or prisoners? Who watches more TV? Sorry to say it. I'm Birdy Tolar. Come dance along with me next time. Get the slave box out of your home.